Well, John, firstly, I suppose the question on everyone's minds is what's it going to take to be able to turn things around at the weekend?
I think it's going to take a much better performance than what we saw on Saturday. It's going to take a lot more energy, a lot more running, a lot more commitment, and all of the things I thought that were missing, especially in the first half. So the positive news is that it's not rocket science in terms of what we need to do. We've played extremely well for the majority of the season, and I thought Saturday was the first time that we really let ourselves down for 45 minutes in particular, and the game was gone after that. So it's no good really having a go in the second half when you're 3-0 down. But I think the positive thing is that we came in on Monday morning and it was very, very easy to figure out why we had played so poorly and lost the game, and we've been working on making sure that doesn't happen again in terms of the basics of football, and if you don't do the basics well and you get outrun and outfought, then you're going to end up losing games.
I'm assuming the analysis process has stayed the same, and how important is it that the process stays the same no matter whether we're winning, losing, drawing or anything?
Yeah, that's the whole point. I mean, it's a lot easier to find areas to improve upon after performances like Saturday, absolutely, and we stuck to the same process. We always have done. We want to take the positives from the game where there are positives, and we also want to make sure that we highlight anything that we need to work on, and that's where we've been consistent throughout for however many games that I've been in charge so far, and yeah, we'll keep doing that every week.
Aside from the basics, what's been addressed from the Leyton Orient performance, and what work has gone into sort of improving it?
I don't think there's a huge amount other than that. I think we didn't sort of press aggressively enough. We didn't get close enough to the ball. We didn't track enough runners, and that was the downfall. The first goal comes from us having a 1-2 played around us, and I thought our heads dropped after that. And we've got to really make sure that if that does happen, that we react in a positive manner. For the majority of the season, we've gone down in games quite a few times, and that happens, and we've reacted really well. I didn't think we reacted well to any of the goals at the weekend. So yeah, we've got plenty, I think, of basic things to work on.
Fleetwood, a team we played just before Christmas, but they obviously have a new manager now. What are you expecting from them?
Yeah, obviously a new manager. They've come and they've put in a couple of decent performances. They haven't managed to get the results, I think, but a couple of decent performances gave Derby a really tough game up at their place, and they've got a few key players back as well. So things have changed, I think, since we played them on the 23rd. There's quite a different change in terms of the management staff and also the players and the personnel as well. So I think that they're a side that have got some really, really good players. Obviously, with the new manager coming in, they'll get a natural boost from that. So it's important that we are right on top of our game going up to Fleetwood on Saturday.
It's obviously two sides going head to head who are really keen to get back to winning ways. So what kind of game could be upon us?
I think it'll be a well contested game, well fought. It's always tough when we go away, when you go that far from your base, and I think Fleetwood are a decent side. Their league position tells us otherwise, but certainly I think in terms of the losses that they've experienced over the last 2 months, a lot of them have been quite narrow. They obviously gave us a game at Fratton Park and ended up with a draw, and I know we were really disappointed that day, but they've got enough players in there to be able to threaten and to be able to hurt us. So I think we've just got to be right at it. That's the only way we can approach the game. We've got to be at it. We've got to make sure that we get on top of them as early as we possibly can and try and impose our game.
Away tickets are sold out at Highbury Stadium for what is, I think, our second longest trip of the season. So how important is it for you and the players that there's a performance there to match such a great following?
Yeah, I think it's always obviously important, and we always try to do that wherever we play, whether we're at home or away. And I think over recent weeks that's been a bit disappointing for the fans, and naturally so, and they haven't I don't think they've seen us our best whatsoever. So I think they deserve a performance at the very least, and hopefully a result off the back of that. I think my second game in charge of my time at Portsmouth was that away game on a Tuesday night up at Fleetwood, and blown away even at that stage by the amount of people that came up and the noise they made. So yeah, we need more of that, and definitely I think it's time for us to repay a bit of the faith and put in a good show at the weekend.
What's the squad looking like in terms of injuries?
No change from the weekend. Conor Ogilvy's been back in full training this week, so he's available for selection. Tom Lowry obviously came on and played. No adverse reaction to that, so that was really positive from Tom's point of view, having played 45 minutes, getting through training this week, and everything else is the same as it was last week.
Just finally, how are things progressing on the transfer front?
Progressing well. Everything's quite slow as a whole. I think it always is early in January. We probably expect to see obviously a bit more happening in the next week or so. There's 2 weeks left of the window, so plenty of time and loads of work that we're doing behind the scenes and speaking to plenty of people to try and make sure we can improve the squad.